What else do you need me to do? trying to find my favorite things in Magic.
Okay. You ready to start this podcast?
I'm ready, man.
Hello, coffee drinkers. This is Commander and Coffee, a bi-weekly podcast in the Commander format. I'm Kevin Weaver,
I'm Nick DiPrenzio.
and we try to keep it light, keep it comfy, and help you get over that midweek hump. I like it less this week. I'm not into this intro.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I was
don't
reading
like the
about.
second half.
I was reading this card called Rampant Growth, and I got excited.
Ooh, is that a nice segue? A real quick segue into the topic we discussed today, or are going to discuss today. This is probably going to be a shorter episode. We're kind of doing this last minute-ish. I'll be on vacation. The normal time that our podcast is released, so we're kind of off our schedule. It's being recorded a week earlier, so.
This is true. It's going to be a very sad week without Kevin.
But you're not going to hear about it because this is the episode that's going to get released while I'm gone. And it's going to be like I was here anyway.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. I don't care about you anyway, Kevin.
Yep. So as Nick... I burped. So as Nick referenced, in the Twilight seconds... Is the Twilight in the beginning or the last part of it?
Twilight would be the end, because like your twilight of your life is like the end part of your life.
Okay. In the infant stages
There you go.
seconds of this podcast.
Sounds good.
Nick brought up rampant growth, which is what we're talking about. We're talking about rampant growthing. All the cards that rampant growth. We got, there's one in a green sorcery. I know it was printed in 7th edition. It's called Rampant Growth. You get a basic land from your library to the battlefield tapped. There's another one, is one in the green. It was probably 8th edition. It's called Rampant Growth. It's a sorcery that gets...
So what Kevin's trying to say is we're going to address mana ramp today. Mana ramp, mana ramp, mana ramp.
Of all forms.
Yes, all forms.
We're getting... We got your land ramp. We got your artifact ramp. We got your
creature ramp.
We got your creature ramp. We got your any other kinds of ramp we can think of?
Well, like there's cards that let you play extra lands per turn.
Yeah. That's a form of ramp.
Yeah, you got lands that get you extra lands.
Oh yeah, I thought you were making a funny there. But
no.
Right. There are lands.
No, there's lands that get you extra lands.
Yeah, you're right when you say that.
I know. When I'm right. There are creatures that to get you lands, not just tap for land. So there's a whole bunch of mana ramp. So we're going to address the different types and what I like to play, what I don't like to play.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin's already knows what my favorite cards are, so.
I did the thing where my microphone was backwards.
You turned your mic.
I was wondering why I was hearing you. Oh, God, no. I was like so careful.
We'll just do it
too.
again. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, but we had so many good goofs already.
Well, you could just edit around it.
So many good gaffes.
Just edit around it.
Gosh, darn it. Okay, try it again. Jiminy crickets.
What do you want me to try again?
I don't know. Am I going to read the intro again, or are we just going to keep going?
No, just keep going. We're good.
Keep going.
We're good.
Throwing the phone away.
Yeah, we're just going to go with it.
We're trying something new this week, too.
Yeah.
The listeners out there don't know, but we've been recording the podcast sitting across from each other at the dinner table. There's air quotes I'm doing around that.
Everybody saw those air quotes. Don't
something
worry.
that we never do. We don't sit at that table anyway.
Ever.
We clean it off when guests come over, and then it's been
basically
a week since New Year's.
shelf.
Yeah.
It's a shelf for stuff we don't feel like putting away right now.
So
which is never.
It's been it just felt unnatural. So this week we're on the couch.
Yeah, I got my blankets on.
We're under some blankets, separate side of the couch.
Yeah, we're literally 15 feet away from each other.
We're keeping it real cozy.
Yeah.
In our own ways. Okay, but let's get into this.
Yeah, so let's start with what mana ramp I usually gravitate towards first.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? We'll talk about a little bit about mana ramp that everyone auto includes in their mind.
We're going to talk a little bit about a little card called Boundless Realms.
Oh my God,
Oh,
we're
we
gonna
can
get
get to that
into
later.
that. We're gonna
Yeah.
get into that. Don't worry. Don't you worry.
So yeah, there are like quintessential
Yeah. So
ramp cards.
when you build a commander deck, the first thing I literally think about is, okay, well, I need a soul ring.
One.
I don't have the money for a mana crypt, but we'll talk about that. But that should be in there.
Yeah, there's probably fewer cases you can make
yeah.
to cut mana crypt.
Yeah,
than-
because like you're like, I just don't have that money on me or whatnot.
Yeah.
But you know, you instantly think of mana crypt. I think of Mind Stone, Hedron Archive, all kinds of like artifact XL.
yeah.
That's what I think about first. But then I also think about the kind of deck that I'm going to be making. So if the deck is a creature-based deck, i.e. green deck,
Mm-hmm.
where there's a bunch of creatures that you can play, I don't necessarily gravitate toward the artifact mana ramp because I have the hard mana ramp, which is like Kadama's Reach, Cultivate, Rampant
Right,
Growth. So I usually go to that. I'm not a big fan of elves. And when I say elves, I mean creatures that tap for green.
Right.
Since Llanowar Elf is like the original. That and like what, Birds of Paradise.
Yeah, that's an elf though.
Yeah, I just call it.
It's an
They're just
honorary
elves
elf.
to
I think
me.
They did give it a special.
I'm not
degree.
a huge fan of the elves. Just depending on the deck, I guess I would say.
Since you brought it up, I'll take this time to stand in solidarity with the creature, the creature ramp of elvish mystics, Llanowar elves, and all the like. If you're playing a deck that wants to win very, very quickly, and you have access to the mana dorks, you're gonna play them because you have so many more 1 mana options to get you to 3 mana on turn 2, 4 or 5 mana on turn 3, and hopefully win that turn or the next. But it's just so fragile.
Yeah,
So-
I wouldn't say, like, there's no wrong way to build a deck, I would
Yeah.
say. Because remember, in all the podcasts, and if anyone's ever heard me, I stand up on a table in the store and I yell sometimes. And I just say, these decks are yours alone.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, if you're not running these cards, get out of my store.
No.
And then you have
No.
actually removed people
No, these-
physically
no,
when they
I've-
don't
I've never
play
done that.
Boundless Realms in their green decks.
I've never done that. I'm just saying that if you build a deck and you're very proud of it, and you used certain ramp cards, feel proud of that ramp. And if you decide that you don't like those certain cards, don't play them. So in my opinion, like Kevin said, Kevin likes to play. If you're playing a deck that you want their commander out on turn 2 or 3 or whatever, and you want those mana dorks, I am not a fan. I like to play, like I said, hard mana ramp cards, like Scourge Tribelder if I'm playing green, and Kadama's Reach and Cultivate and stuff like that, Nature's Lore. Solemn sometimes doesn't even make the cut because I feel like on turn 10 when I have 50 mana, why am I playing Birds of Paradise? Or why am I playing Llanowar Elf? And that happens a lot. I see it happen a lot. Again, I'm probably not right. I just in my head, that's how I feel I want to play with those cards. But Kevin is also correct that if you want your commander out really quickly, what better way than to play these cards that you have access to? Now, cards that do multiple things and ramp, like Deathrite Shaman, if you're playing black-green.
Man, you're someone I've heard talk about not playing Deathrite Shaman because it's not that good in Commander.
Yeah, but I saw it be really good a few times, and I've had to change a heart on that.
Yeah.
Because it does multiple things.
I
So
probably agree with you too.
if you
Yeah.
play it later in the game, you're still like, well, I can still hit graveyards. I can still mana ramp. Maybe I haven't hit all my mana ramp, drops yet. And you can eat land from other people's graveyards if they're playing something that can bring their mana back from the graveyard.
Yep.
So, like, you're hitting their mana. So, like, I saw it be multifaceted, and that's why I think that card is actually pretty good. Again, that being said, I don't play it in my green-black deck, but I'm sure that it is very good, and it is a source of mana ramp.
Yeah, and that's another thing that I didn't want to touch on when you brought it up, but now is a good time with cards like Mind Stone, Hedron Archive, the 6-mana one.
I know I played in everything, and I can never remember the name of it.
We're gonna have to look it up now. Or Dreamstone Hedron. I'm so mad.
Dreamstone Hedron is a good one.
I'm gonna cut this all out.
Yeah.
But I will say for posterity that we just looked for like 3 solid minutes to try to find this card.
I looked too, and Kevin found it before me.
And Commander Sphere.
Yeah, Commander Sphere. They're all really good, especially Commander Sphere because you could tap it for mana, sack it, play like Sun Titan, bring it back, tap it, sack it, and draw all these cards.
Yeah.
It's like value, like super value.
The mana rocks that have upside of replacing
like
themselves eventually.
We were talking about Deathrite Shaman.
Right.
How Deathrite Shaman is kind of like that. So that's why I don't mind that. And every deck that I play that isn't green, because I have a mono white deck, a blue black deck, anyone that isn't green, I can't state that enough. Any deck that I play that isn't green has all those artifacts in it.
100%.
Oh, and Burnished Heart, and usually Solemn.
Right.
Solemn Simulacrum.
Yeah, because if you're not in green, you don't have access to the get land cards. You have like corner cases. White has a lot of weird cases. You get like the White Orchid. You get Wayward, whatever that one is.
They're not good. I'm not gonna lie. No. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. In my white deck, every time that I play those creatures that go and get like lands, if you have less than your opponent, or count your opponent's land and then play your card and put them in your hand, it feels so bad because like when I play green, I can slam a creature or slam a card that just says put 2 lands into play.
Give me the land.
Yeah, just put the, and then it frustrates me because there's no other way to mana ramp in those colors, and that's kind of why I gravitate to green all the time. It was funny. There's a lot of players that have asked me for advice, and they're always like, "I want to play red blue. What mana ramp do I put in?" And I'll be like, "All these artifact things." And they're like, "All right, well, what spells that get mana?" And it's like, nope. You're playing blue. You're drawing cards. You're playing red. I don't know what you're doing if you're playing red.
I mean, Pirate's Pillage gets you mana, I guess.
But like, you don't get to get like, you can play red, like make 3 mana, make 4 mana, like Seething Song, stuff like
rituals.
that.
Yeah.
Rituals you can play that in black as well.
Mm-hmm.
But rituals aren't great.
It's always card advantage. Card disadvantage.
Yeah, it's card disadvantage, and then they're one-off. So like, if you play it, unless you're playing it on like turn 1 and winning, that's cool.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not a huge fan. I don't like that. Which brings us, I guess, to my next point there with mana ramp. How much do I like Boundless Realms?
When I first started playing Commander with you, I had seen you cast this card
back in the day, or the night, if we will.
Yeah. The Friday nights, right?
Oh, it was Friday night. Kevin thought he was cool coming in late, not showing up for the tournaments.
Well, we had talked about we weren't going to talk about the.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I guess I can't even say the league.
Oh no, we could talk about the league that you didn't show up to the last weekend. Yeah. That's fine.
Well, that's fine. I mean, I'm the editor. I can just cut this out.
Yeah.
But okay, back on track.
Yeah.
You had played this card I'd never seen before. It was already like 7. Is it 7 mana?
6.
It's like uncastable. Anyway.
It's 1,000,000 mana. Might as well be.
You cast Boundless Realms on me. I was like, oh, yeah, that's pretty good. You go get like 6 lands, and then the next turn you like Eternal Witness, Boundless Realms again, and then like.
And the game's over.
And then the game's over. Yeah, you were playing Thrun or something.
The game's just
everything
the game's
onto the battlefield.
Boundless Realms is possibly I would say top 5 cards in Commander.
Yeah.
I play, so for you guys, I don't know if you know or not, I've described my decks, but I've never described my mana bases. My mana bases start with well, how many basics can I put in this deck? Usually it's between 15 and 20.
Yeah. I always figured you started with like, how many lands are in my deck? I have that many basics. How many basics am I going to cut for other lands?
That's actually how I work. It's okay, I need 36 lands or 37 lands. I put 37 basics in, and I go, oh, well, I need this card and this land and this land. So I'll cut like 4 basics. And there you go. I got 32 basics.
And those are hard cuts. There's always a forest with a little tear stain on it.
Oh, yeah. I get super sad when I cut basics. But we've seen that basics are great because I know people that play with like 3 basics in their deck, and then I'll play a Blood Moon or a Stranglehold or, something that hurts their mana base.
Oh, yeah.
And then they just can't win.
You got me, was it last night we were playing or the night before where I was playing? Oh, no. Someone else got me with a Blood Moon. I was playing my Traxos deck, and I had all these lands. I had Ancient Tomb out. I had Hall of the Bandit Lord.
It was not me, but I'm happy.
Yeah. I had 2 lands that like draw cards, and that was like kind of an engine I was trying to have, and then Blood Moon. Can't do anything.
Blood Moon's real good. It's probably the reason to run red if you're going to be running red.
In the right meta. Like if you're playing against a bunch of Knicks.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
Blood Moon is just a dead card.
Yeah. I also don't play many fetches.
No.
I don't feel that they're necessary. I don't play many 5-color decks.
Yeah,
and I think mathematically, if you play a 2-color deck, you really don't need that much fixing.
No.
So,
you're right.
So, there is the occasional, oh man, I only have swamps and I need 2 plains in my black-white deck, but it's very rare.
Yeah.
It's very rare. Usually I just don't draw any lands because it's not a green deck.
That's
I'd be like, I'll keep this hand. It's got a Soul Ring and 2 lands, and then there's just nothing.
Yeah.
That's
the way it goes, dude.
Yeah.
The way she goes.
Yeah, it's the way she goes. But yeah, Balanced Realms is quite amazing. Every time I play it, it seems like someone in our pod usually counters it, and if they don't, I usually win.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm so far ahead. I just doubled my mana. I'm in green, so I'm usually playing E-Witness effects, or regrowth effects, where I can bring my card back from the graveyard. That's usually my first target, and then I just play it again. And now I'm quadruple everyone's mana. So on your turn, when you have 6 mana, I have 28 mana.
Yeah, and when it gets to the point where you have 20-some of the low 30-some lands out of your deck, your draws are that much more live every time. You're not going to be in a situation probably where you're like, gotta top deck something. Oh, it's a land.
But
you get to the point.
Believe it or not, it does happen though.
I mean, yeah.
Or you're drawing now mana Excel cards.
Oh, that are just
dead.
Yeah,
which
Storm count.
That kind of but that kind of stinks. But that does happen. But that can happen with any card. Like we were just talking about, if you play Llanowar Elves and it's turn 10. And you draw Llanowar Elves, it's basically a dead draw, and that's why I don't like it. But the same can be said for mana ramp cards. If I balance realms twice, I then cannot play Kadama's Reach because this ain't going to do anything.
Even if you have like 17 lands out and you can cast Kadama's Reach, you're like, oh, well,
I don't really
I'll
want
just
to
do this.
Usually I'm just trying to win the game at that point.
Yeah.
Which is, well, I mean, I guess I try to win the game at every point, but I'm saying like, when you're so far ahead on mana, you can do it pretty good. But speaking of cards that we like, we actually had this conversation together, me and Kevin, earlier. Was Solemn Simulacrum came up like almost instantly when we started talking about this.
Yeah, we just like cursory kind of went over a couple of things we were going to talk about.
Yeah,
and you brought up Solemn, and I was just thinking about it earlier today. Yeah,
like Kevin was at work and was like, that Solemn card is usually one of my first cuts, even though it's such a good card.
Yeah.
And I agree. It is really powerful. I mean, first of all, the art on it is sweet. Not the new one, the old one.
Yeah.
It's it looks like one of our friends, but it's not. But anyway, it comes into play, and you can go get a land and put it into play tap. It's a 2/2, so it blocks for 4 mana.
Mm-hmm.
It's an artifact. It can go in any deck. But sometimes you're like, but do I need Solemn here?
Yeah, do I really need a 4-mana rampant growth?
Exactly. Do I? Because like I said, in green you have 4-mana spells that can go get 2 lands.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're hitting that 3-mana ramp spell, you're getting the 1 land into play tapped, like Kadama's Reach, getting another land, so you're automatically hitting your next mana drop, and you're already at 5. So you already skipped past where Solemn is.
Right.
Unless you have a lot of recursion, I feel like Solemn is one of those cards that can be like super good.
Yeah.
Or,
where you're abusing both of its effects.
Or it could be like, you know? And
that's usually how I feel about it now, just period.
Well, that's how you said you feel about Burnished Heart.
Yeah.
And I love Burnished Heart because you get 2 lands, but it is 6 mana.
I mean, the upside of it is that, I mean, like Sun Titan brings it back, but Solemn can't get brought back.
Yeah. I've seen someone reanimate Burnished Heart like 8 times in a row and use it, and that's kind of dumb. But, like, I guess you could do it with Solemn too, but because the mana cost is 3, it's just easier.
Yeah, I think there's more effects that more easily reanimate a CMC 3 or less creature than a 4.
Yeah, I would.
I'm just thinking off the top of my head, like, I don't know, like Order the White Clay gets a CMC 3 less. 3 or less.
I mean, we keep saying Sun Titan because that's the best one.
Unearth and Black brings it back.
Unearth can bring it back.
Doesn't get Solemn. Even like cheaper reanimation things like Stir the Grave. It's cheaper to bring.
Or anytime you have a
Burnished Heart
reanimation spell that you could bring something back, sack it, and then bring it back again to do it, where it's not like Whip of Erebos where it gets exiled, but something like that, where you can just be like, oh, well, I'm gonna bring your thing back. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna sack it. I'm gonna bring your thing back. So I maybe it's the fact that Burnished Heart can be more easily abused is why I like it than having Solemn. You know, even though Solemn is a great card, like you said, I just feel more inclined to use a Burnished Heart than a Solemn. But they usually work in tandem, and I usually have both of them because I'm playing like mono white and I need them.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it now. Like Burnished Heart does have a quicker cumulative effect of getting you the 2 lands each time you use it, but you are putting 6 mana into it the first time to get 2 lands. Then you bring it back somehow. That's probably some amount of mana you're spending. Then you spend 3 more. You're up to 9 on this Burnished Heart for 4 lands. Meanwhile, the Solemn gets you a card, gets you a land, and then gets you a card when it dies. Will get you a land. You don't have to pay anything except the cost to bring it back.
We can even go back to yesterday. I was playing my black-white deck, which is Teysa, I believe.
It's your deck.
Yeah, sometimes I forget. And I literally had to either choose to play Burnished Heart and sack it or play something that wiped the board. So I played something that wiped the board, and then I lost the next turn anyway. So I should have just mana ramp to excel, my mana. But I was struggling with mana all game. Again, black-white, and I was mana hungry the whole game, even though I have, like, rocks in it. Lots of rocks.
Yeah.
It just happens because you don't have the card draw either in a black where you have card draw in like a blue or something like that. But it happens a lot that you get mana starved or mana, I guess, flooded in Commander. But I'd rather be flooded. I think I'd rather be flooded because then every draw is live,
Yeah, you'd rather see 7 or 8 lands up front.
Yeah.
And then be in the game.
I like when people kind of leave you alone too.
Yeah, they feel bad for you.
Yeah, because you're like, oh man, I don't want to hit, Kevin. He's only got two lands, and then he wins.
That did happen when you were playing your black-green deck the last time we played.
Yes.
And I had that crazy start with Traxos.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, I could like just kill Nick.
I thought you were going to just kill me. I was like ready to die. The whole game.
And then you ended up getting back in the game eventually.
Well, Marcus blew up the board. Our friend Marcus blew up the board. It was pretty sweet. It got me and him back in the game, but he was playing Krufix, god of multiple lands.
Oh, yeah.
And just had 1,000,000 mana and just won. Like, there was nothing we could do.
No.
Those decks do that, though. Like, so, which kind of rolls me right into something else I wanted to talk about. Krufix.
Like the god Krufix, yeah?
Yeah, because we're talking about mana ramp. That guy
Okay.
stores mana.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
It's real good.
It's so good. So good. It's not a mana ramp, but the fact that it can store mana for so long is just
Yeah, and being indestructible, it's just annoying to get
indestructible.
rid
It's
of.
not even a creature. It's an enchantment sometimes. I don't know. That's great. Wizards, you crazy.
Crazy, dude. What a card. So something that I think of when I'm building decks, specifically with artifact ramp, I am thinking of where things are on the curve that I want to be playing, and how my ramp interacts with that. So when I was playing my Captain Sisay deck, that had a lot of creature ramp. Number one, because it had Gaia's Cradle in it. Sisay gets Gaia's Cradle. So having those creatures, playing Sisay on turn 2 or 3, and then already having 3 creatures, being able to get Gaia's Cradle, get that much more mana that turn, feeds into that. That's also a deck that I wanted to have a turn 1 play, turn 2 play, and then something big. So that's when I wanted the one or 2 mana ramp. So yeah, I wasn't even playing Commander Sphere. I wasn't playing Hedron Archive. My mana ramp pieces topped out at 2 mana because I didn't want anything to interfere with turn 3 playing Sisay or turn 4 playing Sisay. And it's the same thing with my Traxos deck being 4 mana. I don't want to play. I play Commander Sphere in that, and I play Hedron Archive.
You also have like the super cheap, awesome mana.
Oh yeah, I'm playing pretty much. I don't have Grim Monolith. I don't have Mana Vault, but I'm playing pretty much every other 1 or 2 mana artifact.
Yeah, but not only that, you also have land that produces more than 1 mana. So there's that.
Ooh, I should get is Mishra's Factory banned in Commander? Oh, that'd be so. I never even thought about it. Or Mishra's Workshop, that one, not the Factory. Yeah. Oh, rip.
I know that the land that taps for all the artifacts you have.
That one is banned. I also can't play that in an artifact.
Oh yeah, it's blue,
in a colorless
right?
deck. Yeah.
Oh, I'm bad.
Yeah, if I could play like Storm the Vault.
For some reason, every time I think of artifacts, I just think of blue.
Yeah,
like it just.
I can't tell you how many times I've been looking for cards for Traxos and been like, oh man, this card's really good. It's blue.
Yeah,
though,
there's the land that brings the artifact back to the top of your deck.
Yeah, Academy Ruins.
Academy Ruins
would be awesome.
But it's
so
blue.
good.
But it's blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like a blue card that gives your artifacts convoke.
Yeah, and
or not convoke. Whatever
there's a creature
the
that taps for blue, but for each artifact you have.
Oh yeah.
So there's a bunch of them, and it's all blue, and you have no access.
I can't play them. Nope. Rip.
Oh, we just need a new commander. Scrap it. We're getting a new commander.
Yeah, I'll write a thing to Wizards right now. Just print Traxos, make it
blue, like colorless or something.
Yeah.
Blue. The void.
Call
or
it Blue
whatever.
Void.
Yeah, blue void. There we go. We're gonna make
go.
a new thing called blue void.
So
it's blue, but it's not blue.
who's the guy that took over Mirrodin? Like if Memnarch came and then turned everything in like Ravnica blue.
Oh yeah,
and everything
Memnarch.
was
There's
blue
another
void.
one that's a colorless blue creature, because his ability is blue.
Oh yeah, Memnarch.
Yeah, Memnarch.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, look at these colorless cards, but they're not. There's blue identity. So. But
talking about mana ramp though, cards like Nature's Revolt and Rude Awakening and Living Plane make Gaia's Crater real good. Don't forget.
I just saw someone play Rude Awakening, and he didn't play the bad part to make his creatures lands or land creatures.
Yep.
Yeah, he played the really good part where he had 50 mana and then just like untapped it, and I was like, ooh. That was sweet.
Yeah.
Because when I see Rude Awakening, I'm like, oh, we're all gonna die. He's just gonna animate all these lands.
We're in for a wild
But
ride.
I usually have like Route in my hand or something.
Oh yeah.
Or like Angel of the Dire Hour, where I'm like, yep, this is a dire hour where these lands are coming in.
Yeah.
Settle the wreckage, but you already have all your lands out, so who cares?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's just like, nope, I'm just gonna untap these 50 lands and play more things. And I was like, oh,
Big yikes.
yeah, that's not what I wanted to happen. But But yeah, untapping your land, Seaborn Muse
Yeah,
could
Seaborn Muse.
actually be like a mana ramp type thing, especially you have like a crew fix.
Mhm.
So each turn you're just making mana.
We're trying to stay away from spoilers, but the enchantment from the new set that untaps your lands on your end step. Is pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's a
Probably
good
gonna
card.
be
We
good.
don't want to say the name right now, but yeah, that card's probably good.
Prophet of Crewfix, RIP.
Oh, I saw that card when it was printed, and I went, "That card is busted." And then it took all of 7 minutes for it to get banned.
No, it was around for a bit though, wasn't it?
Wasn't around for that long. I just know that I saw it being played twice, and I went, "That card needs to be banned." And guess what? It was banned almost instantly. Since you have to have a Teferi out, and you have to have a Seaborn Muse out to do the same thing that a 5-mana card can do. Because Teferi lets you play. Is it Teferi lets you play creatures at instant speed?
I'm not. I don't think so.
Yeah, and everything else is like sorcery speed for your opponents.
Yeah, I know it has that.
I'm pretty sure you can also play stuff at instant speed.
I mean, there's also like Vidalcan Orrery and
Yeah, Vidalcan Orrery. So you still have Vidalcan Orrery,
yeah.
and you have a Seedborn Muse. I'm just saying that there are 2 cards that do the same thing as 1 card. So you need 9 mana instead of 5. Is a very big difference.
And then they're both universally good things and very popular things to be doing in Commander. It's not like a niche thing.
No,
where
it's
you're like,
just,
okay,
yeah.
I finally have this kind of like interesting combo on one card, and I don't need to run
It
these.
seems
3 other
like
cards
Wizards can't make a card that's blue-green that isn't either broken or terrible.
together. Yeah.
Like, they're like, yeah, this is a sweet card. Check it out. It's, it's a god, and it stores mana, and it's big, and it's fun. No, it's really broken. Like, And then they're like, let's make this blue-green thing that puts counters on itself. And it's like, that's not good,
It's not
Wizards.
good. Yeah.
So, like, they can't seem to get a blue-green thing right. But but they're trying. They're trying. They're either breaking it or it's bad. It's either broken and it's in a case, or it's terrible and it's in dollar
Yeah.
box.
Break it or ban it. Yeah. Or no, not break
Yeah.
it.
Break it or just rip it up.
Yeah.
Break it or break it.
That's the bumper sticker, the Commander and Coffee bumper sticker. Break it or rip it up.
Yeah, rip it up or rip it up.
Oh, but it has
Yeah.
like zigzags
Yeah,
on it,
and it's
got,
just
like,
riding a skateboard.
skater, yeah, jumping over it. Yeah.
That's a sweet card.
Oh.
I hope that gets like 12 mana and puts it into play.
All right, all our artsy folks listening, make that sticker for us.
Yeah, that's what I like. And then the dude or the whatever is riding a skateboard needs to be like a tree, like the mana ramp tree.
Oh, I like that.
With
Yeah.
sunglasses.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. But
We could have like a whole line where it has like Doran,
mm,
and he's on a skateboard, he's jumping over something, and then we get the art from the old
you know what I
Greater Good, which has the tree that's dead, and all
Nice.
the elves are like,
Nice.
sorry, buddy, but he's like throwing like what's this called, with your pinky and your thumb out, like a surfs up kind of thing.
Yeah, like a surf's up
He's like,
thing.
I did it for the vine, because then it's like a double.
Looking back at this podcast 10 years from now, we'll be like, yeah, do it for the vine. And nobody's going to know what that means.
I mean, this is already 2019 and Vine isn't around.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just like saying,
I'm
do
like
it for the TikTok.
Yeah,
do it
I
for the
don't-
Musically.
I don't
Doesn't
like any of
sound
that
good.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's terrible. But that's because I'm 112 years old.
I mean, I'm a trendy 26-year-old, and I don't.
Yeah, I'm a
not a big
trendy
fan of
35-year-old.
TikTok. Yeah.
Strong. Well, I'm not 35 yet, but I will be. And there's whites in my beard. But
You're
anyway.
35 in spirit.
Yeah. I'm an old-headed spirit. But I was just thinking about something.
Tell me what you were thinking about.
So with
We're on a podcast.
Yeah,
Tell
with-
me your thoughts.
with the artifact
I'm Terry
mana.
Gross. You're my go.
So with the artifact mana, compared to the green mana ramp, where I can just go get a forest or go get a swamp,
Mm-hmm.
how many times... We don't play against a lot of people playing Obliterate and like stuff like that just blows up all your lands and everybody starts over again. But I know like Austere Command,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff that just blows up, like Vandal Blast,
Yep.
blows up all the artifacts, And if you're not playing blue and you're not countering it, like how many times, Kevin, have you been sent back to like turn 3?
Let me. Oh, well, it's funny you say that specific turn because you were in the game where I was like hard casting Eldrazi Titans, and then someone cast Austere Command, and I scooped up all my permanents and went, oh, I've only made 3 land drops this game.
I think it wasn't an Austere Command. I think it was an O-Stone.
Oh, it was.
But Austere Command could do the same thing.
It was same effect.
Same effect. It just blows up all the artifacts, and then Kevin's back to turn 3. And that's another reason why, like, you're playing a colorless deck in Thraxos, so you don't have access to like
how you
white.
kind of rolled that R. You kind of flipped Thraxos.
Yeah, I'm Italian. So you had like you don't have access to open the vaults where you could just bring all that back and who cares, or scrap mastery where like who cares. You have nothing literally to bring any of that stuff
Right.
back.
I had trading posts.
Or there's a land that you can sack to bring back an artifact at random.
Yep.
Buried
Ruin or Sequester Stash. But then you're still going down a mana to get mana back.
But that's all you got. Whoa, that's what I got. I'll bring this one guy back. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where like you're playing the green one, and even if, let's say, God forbid, someone blows up all your land, and you're like,
crew fix forbid. Please don't blow up my land.
Any god.
Yeah.
And you bring back, like in my green-black deck, I have the creature that when it dies brings back all your lands from the graveyard.
Yeah, World Shaper.
World Shaper, which is great addition, which I didn't think about because I'm dredging. So like sometimes it hits the yard, but sometimes I put it in the field and then it dies because I sack it to a sack outlet and I get all this mana. I get like 10 mana. So like, but if you're playing like, Kevin has kind of handcuffed himself and playing a colorless deck. Now, the upside to that is turn 2, he plays his Thraktos. Turn 4, I'm dead.
Pretty much. Yep.
And I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'll just start shuffling another deck, But that happens a lot. And it happens in my white deck where I'm playing Zakama.
Yeah.
And I mana ramp, play Zakama.
No, Zapalta.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Zatalpa?
Zatalpa.
I can never say it. Yeah.
It's Zatalpa. It's a big
Can't
white
roll
dinosaur,
those Rs.
guys. It's a big white dinosaur.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. You slam it. Or you could play Avacyn. It doesn't matter. You're playing a big, dumb general, and you slam it because you have all these artifacts, and at least, the dinosaur's indestructible. Avacyn makes all your stuff indestructible, but, like, Kevin's, like, wide open out there. Like, just out in the field, like...
With
hey,
all my metal bits.
Hey, guys, I'm here,
With my big Traxos train rolling through. And then, someone sets up a Bane of Progress in front of it.
Yeah, Bane of Progress has to be the bane of your existence.
It's the thing I'm most afraid of every time I shuffle
And I don't even have that in my reanimation deck.
Oh, my God.
I'm just so bad at this game.
Because it seems like, even if you're playing artifacts, every time you play, like, oh, this Soul Ring, oh, this Hedron Archive, those are just more +1 counters from my Bane of Progress.
Yeah, exactly. And and it's great. But any deck I play Bane of Progress says I don't play the artifact stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't think I need it. Like, again, I'm not playing Mind Stone in my green-black deck or my mono-green deck. Or my green blue deck.
That's fair, yeah.
Even though it does sack to draw you a card, like that 2 mana I could just use for a mana ramp or a Score Tri-Builder.
Right.
Where I'm getting a hard mana. That's what I like to call it, a hard mana.
Just because you're in green, you're already not playing those artifacts.
Yeah, so that's why Bane just kind of fits right in.
You're not playing the artifacts because you're playing Bane.
No.
Right, okay.
No, Bane of Progress just kind of fits right in because I'm not playing those artifacts because I don't feel I need to play them. So therefore I can slam a Bane of Progress and really have no repercussions.
Yep.
Which is great. I think Bane of Progress is one of those really dumb cards. Like, we always have this debate about Bane of Progress or Terastodon or Woodfall Primus.
Oh, yeah.
And I just feel that Bane is like a 36 for 1. And then sometimes you got to hold in your hand a few turns because it's not doing anything. But when it hits incredible amounts of stuff.
So good, yeah. Because even the people who aren't playing like artifact-based decks that you'd like to hit with it, you're gonna hit some mana sources. You're gonna hit some like utility card that they have out. Yeah.
So the artifact ramp is great depending on the deck, but it's not great when so many players have so much access to hate
Yeah.
on these cards.
Because artifact is just like, I would probably say the most widely hit.
Yeah, artifact,
type.
enchantment, I think is enchantment creature, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, those three. They do the most damage, I think. Like having artifacts that like double your mana, or you
like
have
a doubling cube or
like stuff like that, like the 6 mana one, Cage Sun.
Cage Sun. Yep.
Which you slam a Cage Sun, and you're like, well, I'm already ahead, but then like you got 6 mana, so the next turn you're thinking in your head, okay, I got 12 mana to work with. Maybe I'll play one. Now I have 14 mana to work with.
Yeah.
And you're setting up all your moves, and then someone slams a Bane of Progress, and you're like, well, I got 6 mana, and I don't got anything else to do, and great. At least I got this bird on the field, That's what. So, but I mean, like the same issues occur with every single card that we've mentioned.
Right.
With mana dorks or birds or elves, you can draw them on turn 10 and they can be terrible. The upside is you could draw them on turn 1, 2, 3, and you're way ahead of everyone else. Artifact ramp, you can draw them on turn 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe they sit on board, and maybe they don't have the other effects that you can sack to draw. But someone blows them all up with like a Bane of Progress or something like that, or a Vandablast.
Yep.
There's that. There's always problems, no matter what you have. You're playing Kadama's Reach, Cultivate, Nature's Lore, all that stuff, but you don't draw any, and you're stuck at 2 mana. It happens.
Yep.
It happens in everything. I just prefer, like we were talking, I prefer to play the different kinds of mana ramp depending on the deck that I'm playing.
Yep. And in general, if you're in green, your mana's usually safe anyway, because it's kind of a faux pas to be blowing up people's lands like mass land destruction.
Yeah,
you should probably be running some way to interact with people's
we've
flip
had,
as Kantas or like a Mazavith or something. But
we've had people play mass land destruction. They played Numat the Devastator as their commander. Usually those people die first anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really not fun. Fun, quote unquote fun.
Yeah.
Because it's fun, I guess, for the person when he's like, attack you, blow up 2 lands. Ha ha ha. Attack you, blow up 2 lands. So.
Well, I'm actually okay with that though. Like, if that strategy isn't just like, slam this guy, blow up all your lands.
Oh yeah, like if he's not playing Obliterate and he's not playing like Armageddon in the main deck. Or there's main deck. There's only one deck in CDH. But what I'm saying is, like, if he's not playing that kind of stuff, and Numat is just in the deck because it is good to like hit
like an
Urborg. Yeah, that's what I was going to. Or a Cabal Covers. Sometimes you just need to hit that, or a Gaia's Cradle.
Yeah,
and it's good to just hit that, or a Maze of Ith. So like, yeah, that's not terrible. I'm just saying, like, if you're abusing the blow up all the mana stuff. I'm sure it is fun for the person who built that deck. I'm sure it is.
Then again, I was thinking as we're talking about this, if like your play group does get into this, I think it would have to be. Let me try starting that again. It would have to be a wide enough problem for it to come to this, that like everyone's playing green, everyone's playing like massive land ramp. I think in that situation, I'd be okay with running an artifact-based deck that is running Armageddon type effects, because
that's fine.
Then y'all are getting too greedy, you're getting too safe behind your boundless realms.
I always say that too. Like, it kind of brings us to the league situation. But like, when you're investing money into playing in a league, and you're going to be playing pretty good decks, if you quote unquote good. And you're going to be like, listen, I'm going to play Blood Moon. I'm going to play Stranglehold. I'm going to blow up people's lands. I'm going to get ahead. I'm going to play Armageddon because people are trying to be greedy. People are trying to combo on turn 4. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. I go for it, because I played in Modern. I played a Chalice deck with Blood Moons.
Yeah.
Because guess what, people? You're playing 3 colors. You ain't winning today. which is fine.
You're playing like greedy
Yeah.
value cards that
Yeah.
are only 1 or 2 mana. Half your deck's
Yep. So
off.
you're playing all these 1-drops. Chalice on 1, turn 0. Go ahead, or turn 1.
Yeah.
Go ahead, and then people are like, oh, blah, blah. Oh my god! And then you go turn 2. I'll play this Blood Moon. Have fun with your mountains.
Yeah.
And that's because I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win a prize. I'm shutting my opponent down. But I'm saying, like, when you're playing casually with, like our play group, our 4 friends that we always play with, our 8 friends that we always sit down with, and if you're always going to just blow up all the mana, eventually, I believe, me personally, would tell you, hey, dude, you can't play that deck. Play that deck with someone else. Play your rat deck. Like play your mono green deck, play your creatures,
Yeah.
do something
Play your
else
tribal
because
changing
I
deck,
do
yeah.
not want to play
Anything
against
else.
it. And I feel that that's okay to say to people, especially I've hit on this before. If you come to the store, or if you come to Stomping Grounds and you walk in and you're like, hey, I'd like to play a game with someone, and you sit down with 4 people and then you take out something and play Obliterate and Armageddon and all this stuff and blow up all their lands, you should at least tell your opponents first.
Yep.
Be like, hey, I'm playing this deck. There's a lot of land destruction in it. It's kind of what my deck is.
Yeah. It is very, very mean. Get ready.
Exactly. Like when I played the other day and I said, that the one person played Zur and said, this is going to be a miserable deck and a miserable experience for you. I was ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
I took out a deck that I could feel that I could handle it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take out my mono white, punch you in the head deck because it ain't going to do anything. I'm just going to die.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to be fun because I'm going to be shuffling for 30 minutes for no reason.
Yep.
But yeah, Mana Ramp's great. Gives you all kinds of cool stuff.
I mean, it's the great thing about Commander.
I would say.
And any other constructed format, you're probably on such a fast clock that you're not getting to play those 8 mana rare
my favorite
crazy
stuff.
cards.
My favorite stuff. Like you can't fathom playing a Rise from the Dark Realms in a competitive format.
No.
Like Rise from Dark Realms is 9 mana. I know because it was stuck in my hand last game and I counted like 13 times, hoping it was 8. But it was 9 mana.
Yeah, 7 + 2 is usually 9.
It is usually 9. Sometimes it depends. The new math that they do in school, I'm not sure if it's 9, but I know from when I learned math, it's 9.
As the phrase goes, I think even with the new math.
Oh,
it's
even
still
with.
9.
Excuse
Yeah.
me.
So I think we've covered just about everything we
Yeah, I
Can about
again.
Mana Ramp,
I wanted
yeah.
to kind of touch on the league a little bit.
can get to the league.
Yeah, so the reason we didn't really speak too much of the league this week is because Kevin unfortunately couldn't make it. Something came up, and he couldn't make it out this week. It was really fun, though. The culmination of the league, there was a 4-way tie for first, which is
Yeah.
kind of cool.
With the wacky point system, that
Yeah.
seems like really odd that would happen.
Yeah, it was just that like the last place person in the first pod had to win. The first place person that was in the pod had to lose.
Yeah.
The second and third place person had to flip-flop.
Yeah.
And yet everything happened where, they all scored 13 points and they all got even prize. I gave out a lot of prize, though. We gave out $80 in store credit to all the first place competitors,
That's
which
80
was 4
each,
of them.
right?
80 each.
Yeah.
80 each. And then the second place was Henry. I'd like to say this because he was the only one in second by himself.
Wow.
And he got some number, I believe it was like 56 or something like that, or 60, something on those lines. And then we had the rest of the guys. I think got 35. Whoever had 11 or more points.
Which I think is just about even if you add in the pack you get for coming, and then if they won any of their pods, they probably got out.
Oh
a little
yeah,
bit ahead.
I'm pretty sure that it was financially worth it, I would say, for everyone. Like even with the big $50 buy-in, it seems like a lot, but again, this is like, it takes place over 4 full weeks.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a little twist to the next one. We're gonna add $100 in the making of the deck, so your deck can be $300. not $200.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see some more broken stuff happen, I'm guessing.
Yeah, gonna be faster games.
But there's also going to be more people that want to enter because they couldn't get their decks to 200.
Yeah, there were a lot of like last minute people
Yeah.
who were like, "Oh, I just gotta check it," and then it was like the day before you had to get the signups in.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's like
Yeah.
300 or 400. I just can't get it down in that amount of time.
You know what's kind of funny is like again it's a shame that Kevin couldn't come to the last week,
I
but
don't
you
want to
know,
think about this.
but life happens, and you know we're all adults, and stuff happens, and you can't make the fun times. You got to do what you got to do. But Kevin had a shot to win his pod and get prize, and it just kind of sucks for me being A, Kevin's friend, and B, like running the league.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to see how competitive that pod would have been, because two people in that pod, if they won, would have got prize.
Right. And this was something that I hadn't thought about for the first few weeks, and then we. You're cold?
I am freezing.
Oh, dude, I don't know, man.
I'm taking a hot shower. You're welcome, listeners.
Yeah. Oh, wow. We're like up on time. So, I didn't realize it had to go in 15 minutes. We can close it up real quick.
That's fine.
One of the things that I hadn't thought about until the last week was that you should know the points of the other people you're playing with before you play in the pod.
Yeah, another thing that people brought up to me too, besides that, was random seating, which I didn't think about.
Yeah.
And random seating might be good, but again, I don't know if it's really necessary. But I think if I just say, hey, you sit here, you sit here, you sit here, you sit here, I think that'll make people feel a little bit less like, oh, he put me next to the blue player, or the blue player sat next to me.
Yeah.
So I think I'll just do that. But it's a learning experience. It was my first one running, so.
Yep. Can only get better as long as
Can only
we
get better.
learn.
I think everyone had a great time. I'm pretty sure they were really happy with all the credit they got.
Mm-hmm.
And they can enter the next one with their credit.
Oh, yeah.
So they
those
can
guys
just
get
keep
to play for
rolling it
free.
over if they
Yep.
really want to, which is cool.
Yeah.
But, that being said, like I think that everybody had a good time.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking
think-
forward to the next one for sure.
Yeah, and we're gonna do that, guys. We're gonna do the next Commander League on the 7th of February.
That's when it's starting.
That's when it's gonna
Okay.
start.
Cool.
You can sign up anytime from now until then to get the ball rolling, to make sure we got spots.
Mm-hmm.
I would like there to be an even number. Like this one was a little odd because it was like 16 one week and then 15 one week and then 16 again.
Yeah. Probably once you get into the 20s, you get to the point where
It's
the variance is enough that enough people won't show up that'll be one full pod
yeah,
that
exactly.
doesn't show up,
exactly.
right?
One full pod and we'll just kick them out and move people around.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think I want to make another deck for it. Honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to play again because I only got to play twice and it was with Kevin.
Yeah.
Just the way because I'm not very good when it comes to competitive Commander, so I just like lose almost instantly.
Yeah.
But it was still fun. Like even when Jordan comboed us,
Yeah, that was a
we
good
still
game.
smiled and had a good time.
Yep.
So and then afterwards, if you don't want to play in a competitive, pod, just come on in and hang out and
Yeah.
play.
And then as
yeah.
soon as people finish their
There's
games,
16
you got
Commander
8.
people,
Yeah.
just chilling. So, so come on in. We have cards for Commander, all kinds of stuff.
So we're gonna finish it up here then. Talk about everything we want to.
Yeah, Mana Ramp is sweet.
Mana Ramp is sweet. Commander Leagues are fun.
Commander Leagues are fun.
Good job.
Kevin's gonna be gone.
Yeah, I'll be in the Grand Canyon the week that this comes
Like
out.
actually in the Grand Canyon.
I'll be at the bottom.
The bottom.
I might not be back.
Maybe
I won't
not.
say that. No, I'll cut that out.
No. Kevin will be back. Kevin will be back. Don't say that. Knock on
Oh shit! Get that wood.
knock on wood. I'm very superstitious, by the way.
Please contact us with anything that you liked hearing. Any you want to complain about the audio again? Contact us at cmdrandcoffee@gmail.com.
Click the link to subscribe.
Yep, subscribe on YouTube. There will be someday that I get this up on other things, so I make the recording process a little easier for myself. But right now, yeah, we're still on YouTube. I'll figure other things out. Twitter is at cmdrandcoffee. Tweet at us there. Follow us there. We'll be updating you. I think next episode we're gonna do Ravnica Allegiance.
Yeah,
set
we're
review.
gonna look through Ravnica Legions. We're not gonna do like a set review. We're just gonna look at all the good Commander cards in the set.
I'm gonna be looking at every card.
I know Kevin will be,
I'm gonna have
a cheat sheet.
a system, a point system of how good it's gonna be in Commander, what decks it's gonna be
think he's
played
lying.
in. Every single common, uncommon, even the basics. I'm gonna rate those on their viability in.
I'm just gonna rate the commander cards. We also might in the future have some special guests as well. So stick around.
Yeah, it's in the works. Brian Kipler's hit us up already.
Yeah, he said that in between streaming.
Yeah, Mark Rosewater sent me a message saying to play Arena, and I said no, sir, but can you come on my podcast? And he said he didn't respond yet, but I'm still holding on to hope. And that was all lies. We'll catch you next time.
Yeah, guys, enjoy. God bless.
Crucifix bless. Erebos bless.
God's bless. God's bless.